guys. So today I'm going to show you how we can create a machine in Hyper-V in Windows 10. As you may be aware that in Windows 10 we have an inbuilt Hyper-V version. So you can just go to run and you can just type in here appwiz.cpl. So it will take you to the add remove program wizard in control panel. Here what you can do, you can turn Windows features on and off. You can click on that, and here you see there's a Hyper-V version where you can install the Hyper-V platform and Hyper-V management tools. Once you add this feature, you require a reboot of your laptop. Then it looks like this when you open this interface. In this video, I will be only providing the basic details of how we can create a VM and basic configuration of a single Hyper-V machine. I will also prepare a video where we can actually create a Hyper-V cluster for advanced IT support users or IT support uh, person, where you can actually have a cluster of Hyper-V and a single storage, and you can fail over uh, machines from one node to another live, and you can even migrate from one Hyper-V cluster to another. So that will not be covered here. This is only for the preliminary users who want to learn about the Hyper-V, creating VMs and etc. Okay. So from here, from the Hyper-V settings, these options show you how you can set up the path for your virtual hard disk for VMs you create. You can just browse and you can uh, put this path to some different location you want, maybe some secondary drive, D drive, E drive for a normal Windows 10. And here you can actually put the virtual machine configuration files here, which also include the RAM file, which is the same size of your RAM. If you're using 2 GB RAM, so its size will be around 2 GB. And the rest of the features are not very much relevant here for now. So this is just a console. You can say it's a management console for Hyper-V, and you can see it's a Hyper-V manager. You, on the right, you see the options. You can quick create a machine, which is not covered in here. We just covered it here, the new. You click on new and you click on virtual machine. So here a wizard is started where you see how you can create a new machine. So we click next. Here there is a name of the machine. Let me put the name of my machine SMTP. I can manually define where I want to store the VM. Otherwise, you can just uncheck and you can the machine will be stored where I recently show you the settings while we start. You can change the settings for hard disk and virtual machine configuration file to be stored. But I will click it and will keep it. If you're not changing it, then it's good to you have default, right? Click next. So here is there's a difference in the generation 1 and generation 2. So the virtual machine generation supports 32-bit and 64-bit guest operating systems. The VMs can be 32 or 64-bit and provide virtual hardware which has been available in all previous versions of Hyper-V. This is the old legacy versions supported, and it's also a, you can say, a mix of platforms it can provide. Generation 2 provides support for newer virtualization features like UEFI based firmwares. You know about the UEFI partition in every Windows system, and requires a support of 64-bit. It can only be 64-bit Windows version. You cannot create a VM of 32-bit in here. And once the virtual machine is created, you see that warning. You cannot change the generation of your virtual machine. It it is here you can change it, otherwise it will not be changed. We click on next. Now here you can provide how much RAM you want to in a layman language. It's a RAM, random access memory, you want to give to your virtual machine. The option use dynamic memory for this virtual machine. This feature use dynamic memory for this virtual machine provide you uh, let's say your this let me show you something more. So here you can see in the performance tab, and you see the memory I have is around 8 gigabytes total, and I provide startup memory 1 GB to the VM. Once I start the VM, it will take all the memory it needed to take for its functionality. Let's say I am running some processes in the VM and it requires memory, let's say 3.5 GB. So the memory will be consumed 3.5 GB additional. So there is no cap on the how high a VM can uh, uh, actually use the memory while you have the dynamic memory. So it will dynamically uh, grab the memory from your host, which is my laptop here. If there is a load on uh, or some processes need more memory than 1 GB. So I will keep it dynamic because I'm creating a single machine. So I just want it to be running fine while I'm performing any action on that virtual machine. Click next. Here you provide the default switch. I will create a separate video for how you can create virtual switches and you can use uh, them for a different connections, because Hyper-V comes with a lot of features on the network level where you can actually separate your VMs based on the VLAN. If you talk about an enterprise network, there are VLANs where you can separate your virtual machines from each other. Let's say you can keep one virtual machine which is for finance and which is you require to be in the secure VLAN, maybe 10, and you can have rest of the VMs application servers in VLAN 11. So we can create them. So that's works on the hardware level. So you create virtual switches, and virtual switches provide you the different network. I will select the default switch because I just want it to connect to the network. If you do not select not connected, the machine will not be on network. So I want it to be on the network, so I connected default switch, which is default created while I enable this Hyper-V feature on my Windows 10 laptop. But we can configure it. I will create a separate video and will paste the link in this video once I create that. That's a very small complex video. Okay, so we click next. I will put the size of the hard disk 50, although it's a thin provisioning, so it will only take the size, the files you are storing in the VM. Let's say my VM operating system files are 10 GB. Doesn't matter I am putting it 50 GB, it will only show the size of the virtual machine as virtual machine disk as 10 GB. Here is the path of the disk. It can be changed as I show you already in the first step in the start of the video. We click next. Now you see the install an operating system from I will install it from the ISO file. This is very convenient. I already have a ISO file. I give the path and select it. So I am installing a Windows Server 2016 Data Center Edition. It's an evaluation version. So you can download it from Microsoft site. Today, these days, internet connection is so fast, so it will not take very much time while you download a 6 GB file from the internet. I click next. So now machine is almost ready. I will finish it. It's creating the machine. Now you can right click on the machine. You go to settings to see the settings. By default, it has one virtual processor. So I will make it two so that it gives me good performance. Here you can see the name of the VM. You can change it. If you want to remove or add the integrated services features, you can do it from here. You can also enable checkpoints. I will not use the automatic checkpoint, so I disable it, but you can enable the checkpoints here. And you can have the smart pageful file path. It will be created here in case you want to create it manually. If a VM, whatever virtual machine you want to do physical computer starts, in case I switch on my laptop, which is host for this Hyper-V feature, the VM will automatically be started, but I will say nothing. Keep, I don't want to start my VM while the virtual my host is started. An automatic stop action in case I switch off my laptop, it save the virtual machine if it is running. Here you can have the virtual switch we have selected. You can change it from here, and it's a hard disk. You can actually add new hard disk from here, new, but I will cover that after I install this. And here is the processor you want to increase. You can also increase RAM here if you want. I have dynamic memory, so you can see it's from 5, it is a minimum RAM 512 MB and it can go up to, okay, so this is 8 GB and this is 10 GB, if I'm not wrong. It's 8 GB, then it's, yeah, 1 TB. So let us limit it this to 4 GB, not more than that. Okay, apply. So these are the basic settings. You can add hardware from here if you want. I click OK. Okay, so now we start. Let's let connect first because it's the first installation. It will ask for the installation. And now we start the VM. You can start the VM from here, or you can start from VM from the this green option. So you click here. Now you see the installation has started. It automatically boots from the ISO file. Okay, so I will select the time and currency format. It's India, so I'm connect to India. Language, I will keep United States English, and keyboard I also want in English India. So click next. Now you can install your Windows 2016 server. Here you will see this is the core version, so you may not be installing that one because you see it does not include a GUI, but you can fully manage the server locally or remotely. You can connect it using PowerShell and other management tools, and you can work with it. But we will be installing the standard edition, which is a GUI. So it's a desktop experience, you mean GUI version. Okay, we click next. We accept the license terms. We go to the custom because we want to see the options of the disk. So I will click on new. So it's a 50 GB disk. I apply. So you will see there is a system files partition will be created. This is been from later on after Windows 7. It was not there in the Windows 7. So you will see a 500 MB system reserve partition is created for system recovery and etc. Now you can click next or you can format the partition, but you click next, it will format itself and start installation. So I click next. So it will start the installation now. While it do it, it will take us some time. I will pause this video and we'll be back once this installation is finished and it will start with the next process. Now the process has been completed and now it's asking for reboot. So I will reboot it now, or it will automatically reboot in few seconds. I will also eject the media from here. You can just go to media, DVD drive, and you eject the server, refresh. So I will eject it so that next time it doesn't attempt to boot from CD. Now these are the post installation tasks this VM is performing. It will just take a couple of moments. So it is asking for administrator password. Let me put it the administrator password. It will be the password, re-enter password means this is the password you have to remember for logging to this VM. Okay, so now VM is ready. I just click on these three buttons, which is Alt, Control, Delete to log in to the server. I get the prompt for password, so I will put the password here. Okay, so our VM is almost ready. If you want to discover your PC over the network, you can just click on yes to be file sharing. You can right click on the start and you will see all the options. Normally you can just click in here and you can get these softwares installed in it. From the search windows, you can search things from here, but I normally find it very convenient. On the Windows icon, I just right click and see all the run, search, file, explorer, control panel, task manager. You can open the command prompt and command prompt admin. Computer management, where you can actually manage your you can say users, your disk connected to it. Disk management is specifically for managing the disk. Network connections, you can manage network connection. Device manager, you can manage the devices with this. System, where you can change your computer name, you can put it in domain. Event viewers, power options, program and features. So all you see, just right click and you will find all details here. Here I can change the name of this server. So let me change it to something SMTP. I changed the description. That's why I was wondering why it's not asking for reboot. So I click it here, SMTP. It will need a reboot, of course. Let me restart it later. Currently, the IP address may be something by the DSCP probably, but I want to just see. So you see, it's a dynamically assigned IP from my router. I want to see the details, what our IP has been assigned to it. So it's something 172.24.151, but I don't want this. I want it easy IP to remember. So let me put it something because I don't need a network here. So let me put it the 10 and then I put it 255.255.255 slash 24 bit and then 10.0.0.1. Let's keep the DNS blank. So now I'm putting the IP address details. So this VM, that's all. I think this is very simple installing a Hyper-V VM, and I will be creating more further videos on Hyper-V for the time being, and this will be all for different properties, for different functions that a Hyper-V can do. Thank you guys for watching, and uh, please subscribe to my channel and also like my video. Uh, I will also be attentive to the comments, so please type in any comments or any specific video or any help you want I should help you on the Hyper-V section, even on the cluster or advanced level section. I will be happy to provide you so help. And thank you so much. Thank you guys and have a nice day.